Hey, hey, Virgos, happy Friday. All right, Virgos, I'm going to do one bonus for you guys right now. But then after this, we'll get to Aquarius, squeeze in a couple more. And then tomorrow, guys, just so you know, Saturday, I will be probably back on late at night on Saturday because I've got a chance to spend some time with my mama. So we start with the Seven of Swords. Somebody's hiding something, somebody's lying about something, somebody's pretending they don't know what they know. Okay. Seven of Swords is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. This could be somebody's acting all, they're playing statue, right? It's freeze frame. It's like, I'm going to act like I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to pretend I'm not even here. You know, if you go into like mannequin mode, you know, or freeze frame or something. We got a Nine of Coins sideways. We got somebody pretending that they're not abundant, pretending that they're not like happy with something, or pretending that they aren't like in a place of good standing. Why? What is this about? What is this about? Why is somebody lying or hiding that? Hanged Man. Aries doesn't like it. Aries never likes it when there's anything hidden. um, it's about a delay. It's not about faking it. It's about the time hasn't come to reveal something yet. I think that's the way I would look at this. It's more somebody's in like a standstill, which is a different interpretation on what we would normally see with that Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, the only reason I read it that way is because we got somebody wearing a mask over here. We've got a statue without a head over here. We got another statue back there. And again, we've got like a statue head attached to this body. This is not running away. This is freeze frame. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say how happy something makes me. I'm going to just pause for just a moment. Queen of Swords. This normally would be a very communicative person. Look, she feels a great deal, but I will say that the Queen of Swords holds her tongue. She pauses, she waits. This could be Virgo, or this could be the person Virgo is dealing with, wants to deal with. Let me put it this way. When somebody like a Queen of Swords communicates, I say when, because it can take a while to do this, it means a lot. Now, this is somebody who feels a lot of feels, but has to then process the feelings, turn it into something that they could then like cultivate into communicative energy and then present it. So right now she's sitting feeling the feels, finding the words to describe how she feels. And this is a combo of like tenderness, gentleness, lusty, because she's in like boots but no breeches. But she's like gently holding this masculine's head in her lap. This is like, I feel like this is somebody a divine feminine who's in love with somebody who hasn't like found the way to express it yet. Violet, great to see you, love. Hi, Nikki. Oh, so glad you're here. Great to see you again. All right, here we go. We got the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, she's working on it. She's working on it. She's thinking about it. This feels like she's working overtime on what to express eventually. A Queen of Swords has boundaries, but she also has communication. This is not one of those traditional stories or one of those frequently seen stories where somebody's lying about like whether or not they're going to be single and she's demanding answers. I don't see that here. I see this is all the story of possibly a divine feminine. Now, Virgo could put themselves in this character, or Virgo could put themselves in the energy of that masculine's head. It doesn't matter what genders we're speaking about. This could be same-sex couple just as easily. But it feels like this character is like going over and putting together what I want to say. They're crafting something. That would make sense if this is the equivalent of if we could climb into her brain. There's a lot going on upstairs. That's always true for those, Queens of Pentacles, Kings of Pentacles, Swords, King and Queen of Swords energy. It's very cerebral. So there's a lot happening upstairs, a whole little factory of thoughts. And you can see how busy this card is. I don't know why they have more difficulty expressing things, but anyone who has a lot of feels has to find a way to put it out there. Oh gosh, Isn't that Labyrinth? I'm in my feels, way up in the clouds somewhere now. Don't know what's real. And that could be part of it. So High Priestess is, am I imagining this or am I not? Okay, I'm glad those were the lyrics that popped into my head because it fits nicely here. We've got somebody nomadic, right? We've got this Bedouin riding across the desert on his camel. And we've got this, all of this emotion that is, I mean, obviously she's like the 50-foot tall woman, and she's holding the moon saying, and she's standing in front of the moon as well. Maybe somewhere around this upcoming full moon this month, maybe there will be a breakthrough on this for her. But right now we've got, again, this could be our Virgo because this comes in with our Virgo, Cancer, Pisces energy now. But it's like, is what I'm feeling real when they're so far away from me? Do I have this right? Have I sorted this out right? Or am I hanging my hopes and wishes on a star with somebody who's not really in my life? So this is why she's up in her head right now. This is why she's freeze framing everything and contemplating things and thinking about it from an opposite direction and saying, maybe I'm nuts. let me first consider, okay, I feel all these emotions for this person. Am I crazy to think they feel it for me too? They're far away from me. Whoever this is, they could travel a lot. Now, I've always looked at, there's this great painting by John Singer Sargent. He's one of my favorites. And it's a watercolor. Oh my God, he's so amazing with his oils or his watercolors. But he traveled a great deal, around the 1800s and into the early 1900s. And so he painted Spain and Morocco. And at one point he painted in this gorgeous, like indigo blue, this Bedouin with kind of, the desert head covering. I can't think of the name of that. I'm so sorry that I can't think of the article of that clothing, what it's called officially, but not just a turban, but I think there's another word for it specifically. In any case, there's maybe because of that painting, maybe because I love John Singer Sargent, maybe because it conjured up like all kinds of adventure in my mind. But this always feels like such an exciting, adventurous person, somebody who's got like a life story where they've seen different parts of the world and they have all of these things, and they, bring stuff back from different parts of the world, and it just has a multicultural, exciting, romantic vibe to it. But now I'm just going to go ahead and commit right now for the sake of the story and say, let's say this is Virgo. Let's say Virgo is our divine feminine who's kind of in their head wondering, is this real, how I feel for this person? Or, well, I know it's real for me, but is it ridiculous for me to feel this way about this other person? And what should I do about this? Should I, am I lying to myself, making this up with somebody who's not really in my vicinity right now? Somebody who travel for work. They may be someone who I've romanticized in my mind. Is this a bunch of BS? Did I invent this, or is this my intuition talking to me? We can see why that would be confusing, right? Because this Virgo is trying to sort out emotions from instinct, from logic. Those are three components, and they all got to stack up, and they all got to be broken down, and they all got to like make sense. Okay, so what does our Virgo do? Virgo, being an analytical sign, is going to work through it like it's a little job. They're going to say, let's use like in philosophy, one of the first things that you're taught in philosophy is you've got to break down what your arguments are and decide if they're even based on a factual basis. Because if you're trying to argue something to find whether or not, your argument holds water, you have to decide if you have like a valid argument. So our Virgo is taking this apart in like a more philosophical way and saying, okay, let's start with stuff that I know to be true. Let's start over with this topic. Let's start first thing in the morning after some good pancake breakfast. Let's start breaking it down with the stuff that I can count up as tangible. Then I can separate fact from fiction, emotion from, reality. Queen of Wands, guess what? No dice. I only say that because what Virgo did is, in trying to say, I'm going to break this down and figure out if what I'm feeling is made up in my own head, Virgo comes around and goes, but my heart, or in this case, my heart and gut, you notice that it's all lit up here and we've even circled it. I didn't do that. That's on the card. We've got this agate, which, or like think of it like a thunder rock. They just kind of look like nothing on the outside, but you crack them open and you've got this gorgeous, internal spiral, like the geodes. Christmas time, I tried to make Christmas cookies that looked like geodes. Epic fail, but they were still delicious. Sorry, I digress, but we see the tummy, so we see like eating something, digesting something, so I'm going to say it fits together. As much as Virgo is trying to figure out fact from fiction, is this legit? It comes back around and the Queen of Wands says, I know what I know. I know what I want, and I know what wants me. And I know I stand out in a world full of many because there's only one of me. Now, a Queen of Wands is not just strutting their stuff so full of themselves. It's that everybody is somebody, and she knows that too. But she's also wise enough to know that in a big, huge world full of millions of people, why did this one individual stand out to her? That's not romantic, right? That's just how it is. So I see how our Virgo is taking it and breaking it down and saying, let me figure out what I know to be true. What I know to be true is that in a world full of amazing people, this one stood out to me. He stands out to me. Why? Because that's the way it works. And if one person in all the world can stand out to me, then sure, I could stand out to somebody also, even though there's millions of better people, there's better looking, smarter, funnier, blah, blah, blah. Pick a verb, pick an adjective. And of course, there's always going to be somebody who does something better than us. Somebody whose nose is more perfect than ours, somebody who's thinner than us, somebody who's whatever it may be. That's not what attracts you, though. What attracts you is that je ne sais quoi, that certain something that only one person has. And you can't explain it, but it's like, I don't know. That's how it goes. In all these other little lights, right? These represent all the souls on this planet. I know that he stood out to me. So there's a reason. So if that's true for me, the same could be true for him. So at least we have a character who is owning how they feel. So that's a good way to start out with finding truth, perhaps. We have a 7 of Wands. We have a 9 of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so then our character comes around to the next component of, let me break it down and let me find out what else is true here. What else is true is that there is a blockage to our character being able to know if they stand out to, I'll say him, because we have this rock star in front of this huge crowd. Is it possible that I stand out to them? Now our character goes, well, that's where my worry is. That's why I think maybe this is just me fabricating something. Here's the thing. It's not fabricated. It's possibly a one-way street, and our character is acknowledging that. But it still says, but I'm only responsible for what I know to be true for me. You can't get into somebody else's head and know exactly what's true for them unless they convey it to you, right? But obviously, this is where our character's intuition is getting all mucked up because they're saying, I don't know the answer to that. And that's where my, concern comes from. That's what muddies and pollutes the waters and makes it so I can't tell. And that's where I would need clarity. Okay, so I know how I feel. The obstacle is not knowing if I stand out to them. That's where we've got to find the answer. Electro Beats, thank you so much. You are so sweet. You are so sweet. Thank you, love. You're so generous. We have a 4 of Swords. Okay, and that's also the thing that our character has been like bothered by, fretting over, and that's where they need to get peaceful and be silent and hear what the universe has to say. This is a card that says quiet your own inner wolf and just listen to the sounds of the forest around you, right? What does the universe have to say about all this? Okay, what is that? I have no idea where this is going to take us, by the way. And this doesn't feel like the right deck. Hang on. Here we go. Five of Cups in the reverse. The universe's response is quit fretting, quit worrying, quit imagining that you're missing out on something if You haven't missed out on anything because it may not be yours ever. Okay, so there's definitely nothing to be sad over because you haven't lost anything because you didn't have it yet. On the other hand, don't imagine that you can't have this or that this person doesn't feel this way. Don't look for a negative where there is none. That's the other thing that will muddy the waters. Somebody starting to fret and worry about stuff prematurely makes everything stressful and very unnecessarily stressful. 9 of Wands, the universe even says this might be the area that is indicated that our character has a little bit of a ding to their own personal confidence or something, or this is their wounded self talking in their own head. All this is playing out like in the Virgo's head. The universe says just heal something internally. You're almost there. This is the last little shreds of a wounded, like mentality that is making our Virgo doubt themselves, doubt whether or not. Because if we think about it, let's go back to these 2 cards. Here's the fundamental aspect that our Virgo is puzzling through. In a world full of so many wonderful, beautiful people, could somebody really find me special? It doesn't matter if this person is a rock star with millions of adoring fans, or if this is just Virgo saying, fundamentally, there are so many people on this planet. How could I possibly be the one that somebody would pick when there's so many other people that are probably better than me? Now, we take out the rock star aspect and adoring fans and just break it down and say, this is the core of the thing that is throwing Virgo off kilter. If they cannot believe that somebody would fall for them, the girl or guy who lives next door couldn't fall madly in love. They don't have to be a rock star. It doesn't have to be somebody famous. It doesn't have to be anything like that. But if they couldn't believe that someone could love them and pick them above all others, that is a fundamental wound. And that's what this story is highlighting, which I think is so important, because we'll never be able to believe that we are that valuable to anybody, and we'll always be thrown off kilter. Even when somebody is showing that they love us and are interested and are flirting and are doing something, we'll still be like, no, I probably got it wrong. The universe is like, Virgo, stop it. Damn it, stop it. Now we go back to that 9 of Pentacles, and that's really the heart of this. One of the things that Virgo is not addressing yet and has to be addressed is, why don't you have this card upright? Darling, you should know that you're a absolute fucking catch. You should know how much you bring to the table. You should know that you're amazing. If you don't know that, that's always going to make you question whether or not anybody could love you. And Virgo shouldn't have to question that. So that's where a scar is. This is a great time to address it. It's not even, you notice right now, the only thing we're bringing it home to is, why is Virgo unable to figure out if somebody cares about them and if they can trust those instincts? Here's the reason why. So it doesn't matter who that person is, and it's not really about them. It's actually all about Virgo being able to believe this about themselves. Okay, then universe, what's the remedy for this? Because obviously this Virgo is amazing, and this Virgo should know that. And this is very much like, I love the fact that the universe is coming in as kind of like that sensible, straight talking, like best friend that everybody needs, who's like, are you kidding me? You're the shit. What the hell? Why do you not know this about yourself? Anybody would be lucky to be with you. Like, this is the pep talk that Virgo needed. And the universe probably isn't cussing the way I am, but sometimes it's good to drop the bombs here and there because it makes your ears perk up and listen. I said, how do we get the Virgo through this? And the Wheel of Fortune is already upright. This is where the universe is like, the Virgo already knows this. They are literally willfully ignoring this. They already know that they're amazing, and they already know that there is somebody out there, probably multiple people, who care about them, and they are willfully ignoring it. The Wheel of Fortune has been in Virgo's direction for a long time, and Virgo has been wasting daylight. This card got eaten up by my puppy when he was a baby, and I continue to use this deck, even though I literally have a duplicate of this deck. I've never bothered to crack it open because I like this. I like the fact that it adds another layer to the Wheel of Fortune. I use a lot of decks usually in any one given storyline, and so we might get the Wheel of Fortune 4 times, but that gives me a new flavor. This says that there's been wasted time when time was already on Virgo's side. Already, the universe is there. Virgo has a streak of amazingly good luck, and they're kind of squandering it right now by choosing to sit down in the grass and still feel a little bit like, I don't know, I still have this wound inside of me that says, I'm just not sure that somebody would want me, little old me. And the universe is like, you know better. You know better. I like the fact that this universe is not, they're not having any of it. Eight of Swords. It keeps saying Virgo's keeping themselves stuck in their own head. They're hiding behind the screen. They are not stepping into the full sunlight. They're staying right there in the shadows. Okay, universe, we get it. But how does Virgo step out of the shadows? I mean, we can see that it's up to Virgo to do it. But do you have gentle advice this time? Four of Wands sideways. The biggest thing is Virgo has to start allowing themselves to want what they want wholeheartedly, and imagine that that other person wants the same thing that Virgo wants. Entertain the idea that there is no blockage. Entertain the idea, even if it means like fantasizing for a moment, but like envisioning myself and my partner delightedly staring eyeball to eyeball in the empire that we have created together, and us discussing how to keep the empire running and us enjoying each other's company. Imagine that and want that, and let that be the focus. No more of this, well, I'm not sure if I even know. Stop with the I'm not sures. Stop with the confusion. Virgo's messing themselves up. It's like tripping themselves when there's nothing to trip on. Virgo doesn't have to ask themselves, is this real? All they have to do is say, what do I want? Really, truly want? And that's what I envision, and that's what I call in. No more of this, but what if they don't want me? No buts, no buts. Here's what I welcome. I welcome my partner who is thrilled to be building with me. I know it sounds like, well, oh, sure, I guess that's super simple. How to put it into practice. Princess of Wands. This is the Page of Wands. It says definitely be loyal to the vision, to the this is the creative spark and the desire, the spark of desire. What I want, I'm going to not deviate from. Our character cannot afford to let themselves get wobbly and, let's put it this way, overly humble. I wonder if this is a Virgo who always thought that they had to work so hard to earn anything in life, to earn somebody liking them, to earn their place of value in somebody's life. I'm thinking that this Virgo either was raised to think that, you either had to practically do backflips to be seen or acknowledged or loved. Like maybe this goes all the way back to childhood, or just because this is a sign of service. Perhaps this Virgo has always had to work really, really hard for any kind of acknowledgement. And that's just what in their head, that's the way life goes. You don't just be gifted anything in life, or you working and just doing like what you agreed to do isn't enough. You have to do what you agreed to and then do 10 times more on top of it before you can earn even a little tiny bit of acknowledgement, or a little tiny bit of, coins tossed your way, or a little tiny bit of love. And it kind of is challenging Virgo to get out of that mindset of like, how much do I need to give? I probably should give more and more and more before I can expect to receive anything in return, before I'm deserving of anything. And instead, Virgo has to be way more focused and way more loyal to the idea that I have a want that's going to be satisfied. I have a thirst that's going to be satiated. I have a desire that I'm going to get what I want. And they can't deviate from it. They can't freak out again and wonder if, okay, but what if what I want doesn't want me? Doesn't matter. This is what Virgo wants, does want Virgo, but Virgo's not ever going to be able to see it or know it, no matter what, if they can first say, I have these desires, and when I receive something in return, I get to be like, jackpot, I'm so excited, I just got this. This is just what I wanted. It feels like this Virgo had to learn to be a little bit, I hate to say it, but like a little bit more of a taker, because I think they've been excessively a giver and haven't known where to pull the reins back in and say, but I'm supposed to receive something. And first, I'm supposed to choose what I want. This all feels like, I don't know if it's exactly this person that Virgo has on their mind that that wants them to, and Virgo just cannot see it, or if this is in general like a stumbling block for Virgo. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a look and say, what about this one particular person? The sun. This person sees Virgo above all others. This person, remember the one that Virgo's been like tangled up about, not knowing if they see Virgo in a crowd? Virgo shines brighter than anybody, which that takes us back around to this. Virgo knows that somebody shines really bright to them. Virgo shines just as brightly in their eyes. So that divine masculine right here that Virgo thinks so much about but hasn't known what to say or what to do, that they've been kind of like in frozen energy, not moving forward, not knowing if they could be seen or wanted. Well, this person sees Virgo and wants Virgo. This Virgo makes this person really happy as well. But more importantly, Virgo shines really, really brightly. I mean, that's going to obscure all others. Like, what do you see on this card? The blinding light. Well, that's Virgo's light. It's so funny how they haven't known how this person feels. Even if this person was showing it with a big old grin, arms open, ready to embrace Virgo, Virgo might still be like, maybe there's somebody behind me that they're trying to hug, or that smile couldn't be intended for me. You know, if that's the way Virgo's been behaving, then again, it's like they would never be able to like acknowledge this, that they are being so welcomed by this person. This person, by the way, could be a Leo, doesn't have to be. But I like the fact that this is kind of more about Virgo needing to kind of, instead of having rose-colored glasses on, it's like Virgo has had like lead glasses on that haven't allowed them to see anything as it is. And that's where they were all getting, you know, murky inside of themselves, being like, I don't even know. I can't really tell. This says it's been staring you in the eyes. It's been looking at you. It's been radiating at you, but you had your lead glasses on, so you couldn't see it. That's actually really sweet. Now we could ask, well, why doesn't this person reach out to Virgo? This storyline was about something Virgo needed to change within them so then they can move forward and have a successful relationship. So it's almost better that this and it doesn't mean this person could have been trying to reach out to Virgo and Virgo still would have been oblivious to it to a certain extent or disbelieving of it. They could have been putting out loud and clear signals and Virgo's ignoring them. But more importantly, this storyline was about Virgo getting their, I hate to say confidence up, but because it's not quite confidence. It's them having to understand that just as they can see somebody that's absolutely amazing and that stands out to them above all others, that is exactly the way Virgo is for people as well. You know, anytime we love somebody, care about somebody, admire somebody, there's something there that makes us drawn to that particular person for their particular essence. And it's almost like that's the part that Virgo hasn't yet acknowledged, that they have a lovely, unique essence about them that will be sought after. They had to first believe that about themselves. And I want to avoid saying they just need to get more confident, because I always feel like that's so insulting. You know, it's like, oh, they don't have any confidence. That's not exactly true. Virgo's probably very confident about certain aspects of their life, but not necessarily had they been able to identify that, you know, at least in the context of love, that they would be seen as someone that in amongst the entire rest of the world, that someone would select them. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. Nina B, so good to see you, sweetheart. How are you? Fairest of all, wonderful to catch you. Hey, Delinda. Wonderful to see you. Hi, Kita. Thank you for being here. Violet, awesome to see you when you were first in the room. Deepesh, hi. Blanca Ray, hi. Patricia Bucator is here. Monkey Experiment, thank you again, Electro Beats. You're so sweet. Also, Godzilla MC, I know you're not usually here, I don't think, in the Virgos, but if you see this one, you got to remind me, what was that song that you mentioned to me in the Capricorn video? I didn't get a chance to look it up yet, and I gotta find that one because you've always got great music selections. T.A. Cahill, hi. Thanks for being here, love. Aquarius 1. Annie S, hi, hi. Hey, Decoded. Lucia, thank you so much for reminding me. Thank you guys so much for giving this a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. It really does help the channel. Moonlight Shadow and Takoria Burt, awesome to see you. Hi, Hermes09. All right, you guys, I'm going to get to a couple of the other zodiacs still before I bounce on out of here. And then I probably won't be back until tomorrow evening, probably late, because I'm going to spend some time with my mama. Thank you again, Kita. And Gianna, hi. It's my pleasure, Blanca. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. Bye for right now. Ah, Delinda, I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you. Well said. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.